Alright, good evening. I'm continuing now with the first impressions. I'm sorry for any audio issues that might arise. Because I don't know what it is. The audio is not sounding as good. Not that it sounded very good before, but I don't know. Maybe just my perspective, and maybe it's just the same as before. I'm just realizing it more. Oh, anyway, continuing here, the next deck that I'm going to look at is Batman and Robin. I've seen the ability. And this is one of the decks that excites me the most because it's the character that excites me the most. So let's see how Batman was adapted. I've seen many fan decks of Batman. Some very good, some maybe not as much to my taste, but I've seen some very good ones, and many different takes to the character. One that I particularly liked was one that used there was a utility belt mechanic. I thought that one was very good. Let's see how this one is handled. So Batman move 3, 16 health, melee. His sidekick is Robin, of course. Melee, also 6 health. And his ability is: if there is a copy of your opponent's card in their discard pile, you are considered to have won the combat. There are some extra rules here, but I gave them a little skimming, and I didn't fully understand. I think something that will be more understandable with the card. So here we go. First card is Faint, the classic one. Only 2 copies though. So unless he has another cancel, another card that cancels, he has 1 Faint less, which is not the end of the world. It's definitely not as bad as having no Faints, but it can be an issue. So Batman has 2 Faints. Okay. So Faint cancel are effects on your opponent's card. It's an any, so Robin can play it as well. Faint, good card, but only 2 copies, which is important, I think. Okay. Next one is On the Prowl. 3 copies, 3 value versatile any. And says after combat, move one of the fighters in the combat up to 3 spaces. If you won the combat, you may move both fighters. So it's kind of like the Panther card, the Panther-like reflexes. The difference is that this card, the movement is guaranteed. You don't have to win the combat. If you win the combat, it's just a bonus. Then you can move both fighters. And you can choose which one you move as well. So very good. I don't think you need the winning combat effect most of the time, but it can be nice in some situations. Like if you're playing a fatigue game, maybe the opponent gets to you, you play this, and you win the combat, and then you widen the gap between you two. Or maybe you want to get to a token, but you also have to remove him from your way or something like that. There are ways where it will matter that you won the combat, but in general, I think the normal effect is enough. So decent card, nothing mind-blowing, but decent. Next card, 3 value versatile, any, always prepared. After combat, choose an effect. If you won the combat, you may choose 2. Okay, so first effect is deal 1 damage to the opposing fighter. Second one is move your fighter up to 1 space. And the third one is draw 1 card. None of the effects are crazy, but they are good. It is kind of like utility belt from Phil's deck. Very similar actually. The only difference is that you do 1 damage to an opposing fighter instead of recovering 1 health. In all else, it's very similar to the dual card. Oh, except that also, if you win the combat, you may choose 2 effects instead of just 1. So if you win the combat, it's better than the dual card, most likely. It depends. Sometimes you need the healing, but in general, it will be better. And if you don't win the combat, then there is a discussion. It will depend if you need the damage or if you would have needed healing. And if you needed neither, then it's just the same thing. The dual card is very good. It's a very versatile card that can be used in a variety of ways. So it's a very good card, and this one is very similar. So I like it. I think it's good. Can be good to clean up one health sidekicks as well. Yeah, has its uses. I like it. I like this. It's a free value boost. So if you need to boost, you can also use it. But solid card. Also nothing mind blowing. Very tame cards for now, which I like. Well, let's see. Next card is Dynamic Duo. Also an enemy. If Batman and Robin are in the same zone as the opposing fighter, discard values 5 instead. This is very good. Obviously, it will become a free blank versatile if Robin dies. So that's no bueno, especially because it has 6 health. So protect the boy. But being a 5 on defense is very good. And a 5 on attack is nothing to scoff at. So yeah, decent card. Maybe it's a bit predictable, but like what they're gonna do about it? 5. They can faint and then they take 1 damage, and then I guess you still can use your other effects. So yeah, Dynamic Duo. Nice card, decent card. 2 value boosts, which I like. Okay, Hidden by Shadows. 4 value versatile, 1 value boost. So not having seen 2 different cards with 1 value boost. Up to now, but one with 3 and the others with 2. So I guess it averages out. He is move free. So okay, Hidden by Shadows. 4 value versatile, any, and says immediately. You may place your fighter adjacent to the opposing fighter. Then adjacent opposing fighters cannot leave their space for the rest of the turn. Interesting. So it's like you're being stealthy and stuff. I think there's a card called Cloaked by Shadow in a match. Yes, it's an Electro card. I think it's her cancel. It's called that. But it's Hidden by Shadow. It's not a cancel. I don't know. I just found it funny that the names were somewhat similar. I wonder if Cloaked by Shadow he thought about using it, but then realized that there's already a card with that name. But anyway, yeah, decent card as well. The Terrifying Roar with that places you adjacent to the opposing fighter, and also stops movement. Yeah, doesn't stop movement from everybody, just from every opposing fighter you have. Can use to chase as well. So it has some utility both as attacks and defenses. It's the highest value defense, excluding Dynamic Duo, which can be played around. This is the highest value defense we have seen so far. So maybe it's better as the defense, but we'll see. We'll see the complete package. But it's a good card. Okay, Veteran Disarm, 2 value attack, and it's a double attack, which I do like. I like double attacks, and I like seeing them in turn decks. As I said in the other video, I think it's a mechanic that I would wish that came back. I don't need it in every deck. I'm fine with it being on the minority of decks because it's very strong and oppressive, but I wish it was not like ruled out forever, which seems to be the case. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe come back, but until then we have the fan deck community to bring them back to us. So 2 value attack, then it says if you want the combat, take down the 4 value attack. So it's not as good as most double attacks because you have to win the combat, and winning the combat with a 2 value, it's not that easy. And the second part is a 4 value attack, which, yeah, granted it's good, it's the Jingle Bang, but the condition is maybe a bit harder to do than the Jingle Bang. It's like landing a Gate of Stone. It's not easy. So if anything, it's an incentive for the opponent to not take hits, because then they take 2 and they have to defend anyway, because they probably don't want to take 4 because that's basically 6. So has this little incentive. Not amazing as far as the double attack go. It's a bit on the weaker side, I would guess, but fine card. Also a nanny. Every card has been an any so far. Oh, anyway. Next card. Unstoppable Force. For value attack, any. If the opposing, after combat, the opposing fighter is defeated, return this card to your hand. Gain 1 action. That's very good. Very good for sidekick cleaning. And if you don't kill the sidekick, it's 2 damage. With 1 health sidekicks, you're very likely to kill them with this. So unless they faint, you get this back to your hand and then you keep 4. Yeah, if you play it against a hero, unless it's like a 2v2 situation or a multi-hero situation, it will be mostly a blank 4 or a finisher. And if it's a finisher, it doesn't matter if it comes back to your hand. But you can use it on the sidekicks and then you keep a 4 value attack with. It's not bad. It's not bad. 4 value attack is not like, it's not amazing, but it's not bad. I quite like this card. It's like a very good card. Next one is 2 value versatile for Batman. So first Batman only card that I'm seeing, and it's called Interrogation. Look at your opponent's hand, and if you want the combo, choose a card. Your opponent may discard it. If they do not, their hero takes damage equal to its boost value. So, like Stolen Memories from Bloody Mary, but on a versatile 2, which could be better, but it can be cancelled, and as a condition you have to win the combat. You look at the hand anyway. By the way that it's written, you will look at the hand anyway, so hand knowledge never bad. But for 2 very versatile, cost effect would be insanely good. Would be very good if it was not conditional, but being conditional with a 2, Batman has a lot of stuff that the opponent doesn't want to take, so I guess the opponent doesn't want to take it. This being a versatile also incentivized to not bait attack, like you attack with a 2 to bait, and then they play this, could end up badly for you. So yeah, I like it. I think it's better than Batarang Disarm just by the fact that it's versatile, so it also disincentivizes bait attacks. I don't think the effect will go through that often, but just the threat of the card could make a difference, so nice card. Okay, next one is a 4 value attack for Batman, and it is a superstitious cowardly lot. Play this card face up and name a defense card. If your opponent has a card of that name in hand, they must play it. If they cannot, they reveal their hand. That's a very different card. I like it. I think I really like it. I think this is my favorite so far. Because I like the theming, and so the implication is that you're attacking for 4 value attack, and then you basically choose your opponent's defense. Of course, the caveat is that you have to guess the card, but you may have hand knowledge with things like interrogation. And if they play it, and then you basically choose what they play. So, like if they have regroup in hand, you can force them to take 3 damage from this, which is very good. Or you can force them to like throw their best defense at it, and then they don't have it for other stuff. Could combo with the things that you want to win combat with. So like they have a 3 and a 1 value defense, not a very common situation, but if they have it in hand, then you play this, force them to play the 3, and then you take 1 damage, and then you play the 2 value. And I guess the combo is just interrupted a bit by the fact that the values are low, but there is the ability, of course, which considers you to have won the combat if there is another copy of their card in the discard pile. So yeah, I think I jumped the shark, because I think I was talking about the card that you have to win the combat with the 2 value, but you don't. You just have to they just have to have defended with a 2 value. So then this is a better double attack than I was talking about. I don't know why I didn't realize it, because I had read the ability, but just didn't think much of it. But I'm thinking this. So this is one the combat. That's why he has so many one the combat effects. Okay. So completely fumbled, but now I already looked at half the deck, so this is the same thing as talked about before. I don't mind if you don't think the combat I think most of the time, but nice if you did. This is yeah, this is very good. Like utility belt where you get 2 attacks, and well, granted one of them is no longer healing, but I think it's pretty good. I would have liked to utility belt in this deck, to be honest, just for teaming, but it's fine. It's a fine replacement. I guess utility belt doesn't have the win combat characteristic, so that's why they put a card that interacts with the ability. Okay, this doesn't interact, but this, yeah, now this is very good, because if they don't defend or they play a 1 for some reason on defense, which sometimes happens, not common, but sometimes happens, or if they play a card they already played, then you get a double attack. And if you get a double attack, okay, so that's very good. If you get a double attack, they play in another defense, so maybe another copy on the discard pile. So a card that didn't have a copy before there. So, oh yeah, that's pretty nice. And interrogation is much better as well, because you're more likely to win the combat even though it's a 2. And this is good because this is even better. I already like this card. This was already my favorite card, the Superstitious Cowardly Lot, but I like it even more now, because you can force cards on the discard pile, and by that you can force them to lose combat. So there's a big combo with interrogation and Batarang Disarm. Yeah, I'm starting to get the deck. I don't know why I was ignoring the ability, so this came to the realization. I'm starting to get the deck. Okay, next one is I Am the Knight. 4 value attack for Batman, which is if there are at least 15 cards in your opponent's discard pile, discard value is 7 instead. So just a 4 value attack on the beginning of the game, but 3 value boost, and then later it's a 7 value attack basically. So the more the game lasts, the better Batman will get. So he's a character that builds up, kind of like Sinbad, or who was the other one? Sisters, I guess, in a way. And Siri. Yeah, kind of like Sinbad and Siri, more similar to Siri, I guess, but you interact with your opponent's discard pile instead of your own. I like those kinds of ideas of interacting with the opponent's discard pile. So yeah, I Am the Knight. Cool card as well. Better for the mid game. Can plug your hand on the beginning, maybe, but otherwise pretty good. Next, Batman only scheme. World's Greatest Detective. Move Batman up to 4 spaces. He may move to opponent fighters, then look at each opponent's hand. Gain 1 action. So it helps with the guessing for this. I guess this is a setup for that. It's not a pass because it is it has the action gain, but it can help you set up double attack turns because you move forward, which is good. Can also help you not have to boost, and if you have to boost, it's a pretty better boost, so can get far away. Nothing amazing as well, but good enough. Next one is Robin only attack. It's the only Robin exclusive card, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Robin only attack. It's a 2 value attack, and it says the Boy Wonder. You may boost this card. If you do, shuffle the card you boosted with into your deck. So that's incredible. That's incredible. Like, it's held back by the fact that it's a 2 value attack, and it can only be played by your not that beefy sidekick. But it's a reason to kill Robin, I guess. Besides dynamic duo, because you can play this. Imagine if you have 2 copies of this in hand, you can play this and shuffle the other copy, and then you can kind of go like a pseudo Battle Hardened loop, and you just get value out of this. You can also, of course, boost with a 3. It doesn't have 4, I think, but it has 3. So you can boost with a 3, then make it a 5 value attack, and then you get the card back into your deck, so you go up 1 fatigue. So very good card, very good card. The situation with you boosting with the other copy would be rare, but but still. Well, and I guess you cannot go like the Barrow Harden loop because the other one will go to the discard 5, so I don't know. Maybe I'm still a bit sleepy. But it's a nice card regardless. Like, you don't lose nothing by boosting, and then you actually gain deck advantage. You get one less card in your hand, so that evens out. So not as good as I thought, but still a good card. I can see it being an annoying one. So, and also a reason to defend against Robin, because well, battering disarm is also a reason to defend against Robin. But anyway, yeah, all right. So I quite like the deck. I like the ability. Oh, let me see. The Trooping backups. And then you will gain one extra. Ongoing after attacking if Batman and Robin are against each other, discard this card and return your play card to your hand. So is that like a I don't know what those extra rules are. Maybe there are alternative things that have been thought about, or maybe they are just updates. Don't get it, but anyway, really like the deck. I think maybe my favorite deck so far, because there are other ones I quite like from these, but of course being Batman helps, and I think it's an interesting effect that interacts with your opponent's discard, which I like. I guess the weakness is that 16 health, no healing. Now it doesn't sound that little, but like that's true for very defensive and free conditional fights. Free conditional fights very good, but then otherwise it's a freeze. And he can scare you into not attacking with the card that you already attacked with on fear of interrogation. But I think the way to beat Batman will be to just attack him, just punch him, because his defenses don't seem that good. But they don't seem that bad either. Quite like the deck. Quite like the deck. It's a fun concept for Batman. I hadn't seen him done this way before, so excited to try. So next one is Pearl. I looked it up. I didn't know who she was, but from a slasher movie, so I may watch it. I like slasher movies, so it's from a trilogy, it seems, but I don't know nothing about the movie outside that it's a slasher movie. So I guess she is the slasher in question. That's what I'm guessing. So let's take a look. I haven't seen anything about this deck yet. So Pearl is a melee fighter, 14 movement, 14 health, 2 movement. On her side is Howard, who is ranged and has 6 health. And she has 2 heroes cards. Let's see here. Pack. Pearl starts the game with making the best of what I have face up. Pearl loses combat while getting what I want. She does not get to recur the card she played. Okay, so let me play. So okay, the other packs are not related. So she starts with making the best of what I have. So I guess she has 2 abilities that she can change. Let me read. After Pearl attacks or defends, if you lost the combat and played a combat card, put that card on the bottom of your deck. If you won the combat, flip this card. And getting what I want. Okay, so it's 2 abilities, like it's supposed to be the back and the front of the card. And the other one is getting what I want. When Pearl attacks, during combat, blind boost her attack. After Pearl attacks or defends, if you lost the combat, flip this card. So it's similar to another Karma deck that I saw once for Shadow. I think he has a video on his YouTube channel about it. It's similar, it's not the same at all. It just reminds me of that, the blind boosting and the flipping of the identities in a way. So if you lost the combat and play the combat card, put the card on the bottom of your deck. So she'll be losing a lot of cards because she'll be blind boosting when she's getting what I want, but she'll be gaining a lot of cards because she's putting them back in her deck if she loses. So it seems insane in value, but maybe not. Seems like it creates an interesting game for the opponent. I'll have to see the card, but could create an interesting game for the opponent because sometimes he will want to block more because he doesn't want to give her that much value. Good start. I like the ability. Okay, the first card is the 5 value attack, the 3 value boost. So 5 value attack, not likely to lose. If it loses, you put the 5 value attack back and they play the best defense. You probably win the combat though. So if you want to flip the identities, I guess that's the way. And if it's already flipped, a 5 value attack can go up, can go to 6. You will see here it's a 3 boost, so the other copy would make it an 8. So could hit hard, could hit quite hard. It's a Pearl exclusive card as well. So okay, start with a 5 value black. Second card is a Howard card. It is military trading. After combat, draw 2 cards. I think this is a card in the Buffy set. I'm not sure, but I think one of the Buffy character sets is. Regardless of the Buffy characters, it's a piercing shot with a 4 value, so it's better than piercing shot. Piercing shot can be very, very good in some cases, and since she gets value, but she doesn't, like the card goes back to her deck, not her hand, drawing is nice because allows her to control the tempo of the game. It's on the sidekick only, the sidekick has 6 health, so I don't know how squishy he will be, but he can come in clutch with the draw like Porter in a way. It's also ranged, so you can use this from a distance. It's fine. You can blind boost it because it's not a power attack and it doesn't go back to your hand. So a fine card for copies. You can use it to boost if nothing else. And maybe it comes out in the blind boost and I think you're probably happy because it's nothing amazing, but it's a free boost. So if you play Tether and blind boost with this, when you have this ability, I think you're very happy. Okay, so scheme. So a scheme included to Pearl 2 value boost called Voyeurism. If an opponent declares an attack, you may play this scheme as a free action. So kind of like a hand trap scenario. Ongoing. You may look at face down attacks against friendly fighters. Discard this card if a fighter takes damage. So it says fighter, not friendly fighter, not one of your fighters. So I guess if any fighter takes damage, you will have to discard this, and eventually someone will. But it's a very good effect. You ignore mind games. So Wukong will not like this that much, I think. Though he probably can like just throw the Ox form, like no mind games, just to get rid of it. But then you have another copy. It's also played as a free action, so it's not a pass. But it can be played as a pass, because it's a scheme, so I think every scheme can always be played. So you can play it as a pass, or you can play it on your opponent's turn, so it gives you tempo somewhat. Like you don't spend an action to play it. And the effect's quite good, the ongoing effect. So. Alright, next one is 2 value versatile. When you end up just like me, 2 boosts as well. After combat, do 1 damage to the opponent fighter, then move one of the fighters in the combat up to 3 spaces. But very decent effect. 2 value versatile, not that great, but then any very decent effect. And with her ability, if she has this, she's dealing 1 damage, getting a card back into her deck. So don't lose a card, the opponent probably did lose a card, or they took 3 damage, and then you move them away to your melee, and then maybe they can't attack anymore, and they have to come to you. Then you just went up in value. So like it's a decent effect on a vacuum, but I think on this deck it's better, and it's a pretty good card. I think having low value cards not bad in this deck. The cards go to the bottom of the deck, right? Yeah, goes to the bottom of the deck, so there's a limitation to the ability. Like you can't abuse it. I don't know if that's shuffling, like strange, but good card regardless. Next one is detached from reality. If your fighter will take 3 or more combat damage, they take no combat damage instead. It's a 1 value defense. So if the opponent plays a 4 or higher, you take no combat damage. So flips voyeurism up against the Ox form. Wukong will hate this. maybe he doesn't mind because it's Wukong and he has the clones, like he will make you lose win combat and you can go to the blind boost in one for value, and he can body block, but outside of the body blocking, I think this deck is coming up quite a good Wukong counter. Obviously the clones might offset this, but alright, it's a decent card. Like, if you play a free, you get very sad because you take 2 damage. But this is basically another form of the Tomoe card. The one that makes her take only 2 combat damage. It's like, but the difference is that if they play a 2, you also take 1, so it's a bit worse than the Tomoe card. But also not nothing like horrible, I guess. Taking only 2 damage, it's fine, it's good. She's 14 health, that's something you have to look up for, because she's 14 health. So far, no healing. Maybe there's healing later, so damage matters, especially because the other defenses are also true. So, yeah. Next one is yours, always. Free value versatile any. After combat, to draw 1 card. If Pearl and Howard are adjacent to each other, both recover 1 health. So, okay, so here's the healing. But if the sidekick dies, no healing. Sidekick has 6 health, so something to look out for. You can play this as a pass, basically, and then you draw a card. So then it's not a pass. But you can play this, the card goes back to the bottom, you draw 1 card, so you don't go down on advantage, you go 1 up in deck. If you lose the combat, of course, but you're likely to lose with a 3 on attack. And if it's on your other form, I don't play this. I think the good ones to play when you have get what I want is like Ted, you want to go big. But maybe sometimes you want to bluff. And sometimes you don't have the big one, so you play this. Anyway, decent card. No, nothing. Good. Okay, show you what I'm capable of immediately. Pearl 1 value attack. Immediately you may flip your card, your character card. If you blind with this card, double the boost value. So the 1 value attack. But gives you the option to flip your abilities. So it's a way to flip your ability without having to blind boost. So you can stop your blind boost, which I think is very valuable, especially because it's a 1. So you will lose the combat. You'll come back. So for playing value, you play this when you are on the blind boost form. If you're playing damage, you may play this, or maybe when you're not on the blind boost form, though it will blind boost and then double the blind boost, so it can be a 7 if it's a 3, which 7 is nothing to scoff at, but if it's a 2, it's a 5, it's not bad, but nothing amazing. If it's a 1, it's a 3. But it's a bit more risky if you want to use this blind boost. No 1 so far, or maybe she has no 1 boost. I like it. Seems good. Especially for the ability to flip the card without losing the combat or winning the combat. So that's good. Okay, answer my prayers. Just winning the combat, you only flip when you win. But, you know. Answer my prayers. Free value versatile for Pearl. After combat, if you want the combat, your opponent choose 2 cards from your discard pile, shuffle them into your deck, then draw 1 card. So this is like guaranteed shuffling back. The opponent chooses though, so then they will choose the worst thing for you. So it's not as good as the ability, but like if you play this on the first form and they defend low because they want you to change form, then you change form, of course they won in this way, but then you still get 2 cards back into your deck. Not bad at all. And then you draw 1 card, so you go up in hand advantage, and then they will have to look out for your big attacks. So I think this character has more than 1 way she can be played. I'm naturally a value player, so I'm thinking about value more than I'm thinking about the damage, but she can blind boost some big attacks, like she can have some 8s and some 7s, and some 6s. So that's something to look out for as well. Okay, next one. It's a 4 value versatile for Pearl, biggest defense we have seen so far. Outside of this, which can be considered a big defense, but to lose to a 2. Lose it to a 3. So it's a weird one, but it's the biggest defense so far. You consider to have lost this combat. Oh, it's also good on attack if you have the first ability, because then you don't you get the card back. Can also be good on attack if you have the second ability, because if you're trying to push damage, you play this, you blind boost, so we'll go to a 6 or 7. We haven't seen any one boost so far, so it goes to a 6 or a 7, and then you keep the ability to blind boost for the next attack if you're really pushing the damage. Of course, you run out of cards if you do the blind boosting a lot, but versatile card and good. It's a versatile card. You can use in more than one way, and it's a good value block and a good. It's a decent value attack. No, not amazing. It's just 4, but not bad either. Another thing, it's like the reverse of the bullseye card that considered that you have won the combat. One thing to be on the lookout is that if you're playing against a deck that wants to win the combat, this might be a problem, because like if you're playing against Batman, for example, if you play the 2, you don't have other copies of this on your discard pile, but you're considered to lose the combat anyway, and then he interrogates you and gets card out. Just an example from what we've seen in the video, but like Luke Cage still standing, like he won the combat, but you consider to have lost it, so your effect will go first. So he gets his cards back. I guess Batman's effect will not go first, because you consider to have lost the combat after they immediately to attack. So yeah, but things like still standing have to be on the lookout. Okay, it will be our secret. 3 value versatile any. After combat, each player in the combat simultaneously review a card from their hand. The player who revealed the card with the highest boost value puts their card on top of their deck. So good for fatigue, not so good. Otherwise, you can use this to bully the opponent, like here's the 1 boost right beneath it. So you have a 1 boost, so you do this, you reveal the 1 boost. If they don't have the 1 boost, you get a card. They get a card back from deck, of course, but then they have 1 less card in hand. And if you lost the combat in the first form, then you get the reshuffle. And if you won the combat in the first form, you get a blind boost abilities. If it's your first action, you attack again big. They have 1 less card to defend. But it's the mind game, because they put the card that they revealed. It has to be the value, so I guess they will avoid revealing cards that they really want to keep in their hands. So it's a weird one. It seems like one of the weakest in the deck, but not super weak. Can be like a double pass with the ability plus this, if you're not worried about a counter attack. So not terrible. Stuck like a pig. 3 value attack for cancel all effects on your opponent's card. Okay, 3 value attack. It's nice. It cancels and it goes back to your deck. So you play this, they defend big. Okay, they get no effect, and you get this card back. You play this and you have the blind boost, then it can be up to a 6 value attack that cancels, which is incredible. It's higher than the invisible man cancel. So it's also good. It's also the 1 value boost, so it feels terrible if you blind boost this. Another thing with the blind boost, because since your first ability, something I'm just thinking about, but it's your first ability to put the cards back into your bottom of your deck, and we have not seen shuffle yet. Maybe the last card has a shuffle, but have not seen shuffle yet, so you can keep track of what it is on the bottom, and eventually time your second form to hit big with the blind boost. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So avoid blind boosting with this if you can. Sometimes you won't be able to. Like, it's 3 copies and it's the only 1 value boost. Okay, there's another one here. So she has 5 1 value boosts. It's not very likely to get them. And you can calculate the probability, so I don't think they will be too much of a detriment most of the time. Okay, last cards, 3 value versatile any. Envy. During combat, add the boost value from your opponent's card to this card's value. Good card. If you use to attack, you probably win the combat. if gold and bad defense, which is 5, and you have the blind boosting ability, yours go up to 6 and then plus the blind boost, so you can deal like the 4 damage to less of your wilderness, which is good. It's very good. Probably don't attack with this if you want to lose the combat. You're not very likely to lose. So if you're on the first form and you want to lose the combat, probably defend with this is a bit better. It's more likely that you will win. But not that likely to lose as well, even on defense. So not a very good card for the first ability, but it has its uses otherwise. Not my favorite card in the deck, I think. Seems like the weakest one, just by the nature of you with winning the combat more than you want to, I think. Which sounds weird, but from what I'm getting from this deck, like losing combats is good sometimes. This being a 1 value is also good for that, because if they play a 2 or a 3, you don't take that much damage, but you lose the combat. Though if they play something higher, you win the combat. Yeah, very interesting deck. Okay, maybe this is my favorite. I just said like Batman one, of course. Batman is a character I know, and I like the ability, I like the deck. But this one, I don't know. It seems like very interesting puzzle to figure out, and seems like you can have a crazy good value game in the right hands, and probably not my hands, but in the right hands, seems like you can have a very good value game. Plus, has a Daredevil feeling to it, so I like this one. Really like this one. Okay, but that is Pearl and Batman, and next one will be about the next few characters on the list, which I think there are 4 left.